Welcome back to Dan, Digital Asset News, where we summarize the top stories in crypto so you get what you need to know in less time. Here's what's news today. Stellar's Jed McCaleb confirms Ripple can burn half of XRP's total supply after they burned half of theirs. Ethereum naysayers say that Ethereum is doomed. Ethereum proponents say that Ethereum is poised for a major rally. And Tim Draper makes a crazy prediction that Bitcoin will be $250,000 in 2022. So let's get to it. So this is an interesting article I found. Stellar's Jed McCaleb. So if you're unfamiliar with this, Jed McCaleb used to be a part of the XRP team at Ripple. He branched off and went and created his own cryptocurrency known as Stellar Lumens. And what they did, today is November 17th. And what they did a couple weeks ago was they burned half of their supply from 105 billion to 50 billion. And it was interesting to note that the Stellar team, headed by McCaleb, the Stellar Development Foundation, or SDF, decided to burn half of their supply, slashing 105 to 50 billion. And Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz, sent out a tweet after that saying that Ripple can't burn XRP since the crypto is entirely decentralized. Now, Jed McCaleb kind of caught him off guard. And he claimed that if it wanted to, Ripple Labs could indeed also burn half of the XRP, which is in the direct opposite of what David Schwartz said. So in response, CTO sought to tone down the exchange, partially agreeing that Ripple could burn XRP. However, he added an extra statement suggesting that Ripple was instead more interested in building up XRP liquidity and fostering adoption rather than burning the coins to stack up the price. And indeed, Ripple is capable of altering the XRP supply if it needed to. So what I found interesting here was that you had your chief technical officer, who is in charge of pretty much everything technical for this project, essentially lying and saying, no, we can't do that. And then a person that knows exactly as much as him, well, probably a little bit less because he left the project, but knows a lot about that company, says, no, that's not true. You can burn it if you wanted to. Don't state a fact that is not a fact, that is a lie. Or at the very least, it is misinformation. And I found it in poor taste. Now, in these days, it seems like truth and information is an ever-dwindling supply. So what we're looking for is trust. And that's why I think a lot of us got into cryptocurrency, because we can't trust governments. We can't trust banks. So what can we trust? We can trust. So when you have somebody like this going, no, we can't do that. And then they get called out and said, yes, you can. It makes us take a step back and go, what the hell's going on? Why say that when it's not true? It just doesn't make any sense. So that's a little disconcerting. And moving forward in this article, the last part about it is Litecoin's Charlie Lee. He gave his opinion, said that they should not have done that because it doesn't give back to their community. Stellar increases holding from 16% to 24%. Since they only burned about 5 billion of their XLM holdings. In effect, the Stellar development team made itself richer at the expense of its fans. So that's just an opinion piece, and here's my opinion. They didn't do that just for themselves. Once they did that, the price of Stellar jumped by 16%, so essentially it made everybody richer. So yes, they made more money, but also the people that are holding Stellar are going, hey, great, that just went up by 16% in one move. You can't do that anywhere else. You can't do that in the stock market. You can't do that any place. So for me, if I still own Stellar, which I do not, I'm like, great, thank you very much. 16% profits in a couple days. I appreciate that. And in all honesty, I think it's a good move. All right, moving on. I love these articles. Because here we have an article that says that Ethereum could be doomed. The next article, we have another article that says, no, Ethereum is going way, way up. So let's take a look here. So where does this all come from? Where's the information? You have to understand that articles like this, everybody's got a job to do, right? If you're a writer, you write. If you're a plumber, you plumb. If you're a lawyer, you do legal stuff, right? So if you're a writer and you're looking for something, you're like, okay, well, what do we got out there? What's happening? The whole article is written on this one person that goes by the Twitter handle Grubbles. And it says, according to one crypto fan, going by the Twitter handle Grubbles, the Ethereum network is now headed for hard times. In a tweet, he states, I think Ethereum fans know Ethereum, the platform, is mostly doomed, with projects waking up and migrating to other platforms fairly frequently now. And that's true. Things leave. Things, either they fall apart, doesn't work out for them, or they try something else. Remember, we're in the infancy stage, right? So companies big and small are going to try out a host of different options to see which one works for them. And I found it funny because I went to his actual tweet as I had to see about what he said. And of course, yeah, it's the exact same thing. Ethereum fans know Ethereum is doomed. Keeps going on. And I found this last one pretty funny. He says, I mean, you just can't keep polishing this turd forever. Ethereum bag holders, best bet is to convince people to lock up their ETH instead of selling. So, yeah, sure. First of all, it's just somebody's opinion, and it is based loosely in facts, but for every side to a fact, there's another side to that fact. So he talks about how they're getting away from, I would assume, their dApps, decentralized apps, and smart contracts, which I don't personally believe. But then the article goes on to talk about another user claimed that, in fact, the Ethereum network is actually getting better. He named a few popular entities like Santander, IBM, and Microsoft that have joined the platform. So that tweet is right here. He answers the Grubbles, and says, meanwhile, in the real world, Microsoft, Santander, IBM, Ernst & Young, just to name a few, are building on Ethereum. And this is all true in different variations. I think with Ernst & Young, it's just an experiment. Microsoft Azure is building on top of it for dApps. IBM, they're going forward as well. So, yeah, it's just sometimes it's a slow news day, and you got to take some examples from people that is just one opinion, and off it goes. So that is that. Let's move on to the next one, where it talks about Ethereum is primed for a major rally. And see, as people, like I said, I don't believe in technical analysis. I don't believe in, this is going down here and look for this falling wedge and this head and shoulders pattern, all that. I just don't. What I believe in is people, and I believe in how people move things. Now, some people will say, well, that's what technical analysis is. It's looking at how people move things. And to me, it doesn't matter, because you could have 1,000 people, right? And they're all doing, the same, pretty much this one thing. And then all of a sudden you have one, two, or three whales come in, and they dump a bunch of money, or they buy something up. It doesn't matter. And then it pushes it the exact opposite way. So to me, the only thing that's going to work well in cryptocurrency is to do your research, find projects that are going to be reputable, or are reputable, are doing good things, are making changes, are being honest, and are good players in the system. And they have a good team, and they're going to do well in the future. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be peaks and valleys, but the projects that you pick are the ones that you believe will make it in the future. And of course, I am biased. I always talk about this. Here are my holdings. These are the ones that I believe are going to do, quite well. So yeah, you just hold, and you don't care about if it goes up and down. I could care less today about what it is. What I care about is what's going to happen in 5 years. And that's what you should be concerning yourself with as well. It's not what's going to happen today, what's going to happen in the future. Anyhow, onto this, off my soapbox, onto this article here. So, real quick article, and it talks about catalysts that could boost the bulls in the near term. One is the rising network usage. And I found this fascinating because I had no idea that the network was moving this rapidly. But it says the Ethereum network has witnessed a palpable growth in the network activity, demonstrated by the rapid increase in gas usage. So this is data, this is information that you can actually look at. It's tangible. You can say, okay, this is an indicator of things that are positive. Not opinions, these are numbers, and numbers don't lie. The last time Ethereum's network activity soared high, it pushed the price to as much as $1,400. And today, prices are, for Ethereum, 185, Bitcoin is 85.75, Tron is a little less than 2 cents, EOS, XRP, 26 cents, so on and so forth. But moving on, another opinion. Crypto analyst by the name Crypto Wolf told his more than 18,000 Twitter followers that alt season has commenced. Sure, opinion, but at least in this one, it's based on a little bit of facts and numbers. Now, the Ethereum network might face a slew of technical barriers in the coming months as it transitions to the proof-of-stake model Ethereum 2.0. And for this is one of the bigger reasons that I'm very bullish on this one. Because instead of using all these computers and this electricity wattage and the power consumption, which is vast, to mine Ethereum, they're going to say, okay, we're going to do away with that. Now it's going to be proof of stake. So whoever has Ethereum, and the number floating around is about 32 Ethereum, you can stake it, you can make your claim, and you can build interest off it. To me, as time moves forward, I like to do nothing but get a return in it. Well, actually, we didn't do nothing. We took a huge risk, right? If we're here, in 5 years, 10 years, we take a huge risk to invest into something like cryptocurrency as opposed to the S&P 500, something a little bit safer, right? So as time goes on, I'm excited about this. I say, well, if I can put money here and I get a return of 5%, 10%, or whatever it's going to be, maybe 3%, but maybe the price of Ethereum as years go on, it's not $1,400. Maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $10,000, maybe it's $20,000 per Ethereum. We don't know. So I will take that gamble because right now it's not too much money, and I'm looking forward to the future. All right, moving on. Our last topic. Tim Draper predicts 250,000. Crazy, right? And when I saw this article, at first I got pissed because I go, damn it, another crazy, wacky prediction that probably won't come true. And then as time goes on, people go, see, it didn't happen. Like McAfee. It's not going to hit $2 million. And when that time comes up in 2020 and it's not $2 million, people are going to look at that again. I believe in people and their reptilian brain and how they think. And be like, see, it's just full of charlatans and people that don't know what the hell's going on, and it's just a big scam and a Ponzi scheme. This guy says it's going to be $2 million. It's not $2 million. It's not even close to that. Who would invest in that? Or people are like, I'm taking my money out, right? So I look at Tim Draper and I'm like, God damn, $250,000. But then I started to take a look. And I remember that he made a prediction in 2015, 2016, that Bitcoin would hit 10,000 by the end of 2017, 2018. And we all know, in December, it hit 20 grand, well, roughly 20 grand, end of 2017. So not only did he hit that goal, he doubled it. And he invested when Bitcoin was hundreds of dollars. He was also a big investor into Tesla. He was also an investor in Skype when it was nothing. So I look at this guy and I'm thinking to myself, well, he actually has a knack of finding winners. So anyhow, going through this article, he says, on the question of which catalyst will push the prices to that level of 250,000 by 2022, he cited innovations like Lightning Network, OpenNode, and others that facilitate fast transactions within the network. These features make Bitcoin not only a store of value, but also a viable tool for micropayments and generally retail. And I saw this and I go, is that true? Can we use Bitcoin and the Lightning Network for micropayments? Are we going to be able to use Bitcoin at Starbucks like they are planning to do, I believe, coming up in 2020? And the answer was I didn't know. So I had to remember looking at my Coinbase account and them talking about their Coinbase card. So I went over there real quick, did a quick query. What's the Coinbase card? Basically, it states it's ready to use in millions of locations around the world, online and offline. Pay with contactless PIN or withdraw cash from any ATM. You can select which crypto wallet you pay through the app. It takes just a few seconds to switch between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more. I believe XRP is also one of those standards. So I thought, well, if this is available right now on this card, maybe micropayments, small transactions are available. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my Coinbase account. I'm going to order this card, and I'm going to use it for a week, and I'm going to see what happens. If it is as seamless as it appears to be, then Tim Draper, his assessment could be right on the money. So, yeah, I'll report back in about a week as soon as I get my card. So that is it, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end of the video and my little rants. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.